Almost everyone feels behind these days, and I know you probably know this feeling already. You open your phone and someone your age is starting a new company, someone else is buying a new house, someone is getting married, someone is traveling the world, someone is doing something amazing, and somehow it feels like everyone else is moving forward except for you. But here's the weird part. Even people who look very successful often feel the exact same way. The person you think has everything figured out might be looking at someone else and thinking they are behind too. So, if everyone feels behind, who exactly is ahead? And it turns out the answer to that question has very little to do with your life than you might expect or you might think. Don't worry, I'm going to explain. A few hundred years ago, most people compared themselves to only the people around them, their neighbors, friends, the people they saw every day. That was pretty much it. But today, that is impossible because even before you get out of bed, you can see a millionaire in Dubai, a fitness model in Los Angeles, a tech founder in Silicon Valley, a 19-year-old showing off a perfect lifestyle on social media. And all of this on your phone. You see it all on your phone. And your brain sees all of it. And without realizing it, your brain starts treating all these people as your competition. And that is the problem because they are not supposed to be your competition in the first place. For most of human history, people compare themselves to maybe a few dozen people around them. But now we are comparing ourselves to millions of people all around the world. But there is another problem. Most of these things we see online aren't fake. They are just incomplete. Think about it this way. When someone gets promoted at work, they post it. When they buy a new car, they post it. When they get engaged, they start a business, they reach or achieve some big goal, they post it. But what you usually don't see are the years before that moment, the mistakes, the stress, the days where everything felt like it wasn't working, the days where nothing seemed to be working. But you only see the parts that made it to the finish line. And after a while, that starts to mess with the way you see your own life because you are comparing your everyday reality to someone else's best moments in life. And that's a comparison no one on earth can win because no matter how successful or how well you think you are doing for yourself, someone online is doing better, which becomes even more confusing when you realize that people aren't even following the same path anymore. And that's where things got even stranger. For a long time, life was a lot more predictable. You finish school, you get a job, you start a family, you bought a house. Most people were following a similar path. Today, that is no longer true. One person becomes successful at 22, another person figures things out at 40. Some people get married early, some people never got married at all. Some people build businesses, some people switch careers 3 to 4 times in their life. Some spend years trying different things before finding what actually works for them. The problem is that we are still looking at other people's timelines as if they are supposed to be our timelines too, but they are not. Everybody is playing a different game now. Different goals, different opportunities, different starting points. So maybe the real question isn't why you are behind. Maybe it's why you are comparing your journey to someone who is heading somewhere completely different from you. And once you start doing that, it becomes very hard to never feel like you are moving fast enough. There is also something else going on in the background. These days, it feels like you are never doing enough. You wake up early, be productive, learn a skill, start a project, work on yourself. Even after doing all that, it still feels like you are behind, like there was something more you should be doing. And slowly, that starts to change the way you think because even resting feels like wasting time, free time feels like guilt, even relaxing doesn't feel like fully relaxing anymore. But the strange part is, doing more doesn't always fix this feeling. Sometimes it just makes it louder because no matter how productive you are still measuring yourself against millions of people you don't even know. And that's not a fair standard for anyone to live by, which is why the real shift isn't doing more, it's understanding what you are actually measuring yourself against. So right now you might be asking what actually helps. Well, it is not trying to beat everyone else, and it is definitely not trying to keep up with all the millions of people online. It is something much more simpler. Zooming into your own life. Yes, zooming into your own life. Because most progress doesn't look big when it is happening. It feels very slow, sometimes even invincible. But when you look back at things, then it all starts to make sense. You realize you weren't stuck, you were just building quietly. And while you were busy comparing yourself to everyone else, you probably missed the fact that you were already moving forward. So maybe the goal isn't to feel ahead all the time, Maybe it is to stop measuring your life in a way that makes you feel behind every single day. So if you take anything from this video, let it be this: feeling behind doesn't always mean you are actually behind. Sometimes it just means you are looking at too many lives at once and forgetting that you only get to live one. So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for watching, and please subscribe. I've been on YouTube for 5 years without getting monetized. Please subscribe and like the video. Thank you for watching.